Welcome to this game of Mechabellum. As you can see here, I'm fighting against the Strikey and options. Sabertooth, Firebadger, Elite and Fortified. And none of those looked very good for me. The Elite would be good if there was Crawlers here instead of Hounds. It could be used, but I don't like when I have no chaff on the Elite. I ended up going for Fortified because I like the starting units with Marksman and Sledge, and a little extra HP is always useful, even if it's not the best. On my opponent's side, Training Spec, not that great considering I don't think Hounds with Sledges pair very well. Cost Control, I don't like Cost Control. Rhino Spec looks pretty good. With Sabers and Crawlers, you just grab Hounds and you have the Saber Hound spec. With a Rhino arriving on Hound 4 that you can use to try to grab a tower or something. And then sell it. Typhoon spec, I wouldn't go for it. Crawler and Balls. I like Balls when I get Aerial spec. Then I can go for Wraith carry with Balls. But let's see what my opponent will do. And he goes for the last one I talked about. Typhoon spec with Steel Balls and Crawlers. The one I wouldn't go for. Look at those. You can see that if he's going aggro, he's probably not going on this side with wall and turret. And the other one has only one turret. So you see me defending this side, grabbing some Crawlers. And Vertical Sledge works really well against Balls. And the Marksman behind, one right in front of the tower, so my DPS is very stacked in here to kill the Balls. And the turret is protected with the Sledges on both sides, so the turret will be my shaft clear. Since I don't have a dedicated shaft clear unit. Sledges can work, but not that well. My opponent ended up going for Arc Lights as shaft clear. And it's not quite aggro, but it's on a forward position. It's not aggro on the line. But you can see my turret doing a lot here, killing chaff. The Sledges are also doing great. You can see top 2 on damage and top 1 on damage per the Sledges, not the Marksman. And victory. And since my opponent doesn't have a lot of HP, he's already below 4k. Here, for the first time, I get improved Tarantula on the card choices. It usually only appears after I already have other shaft clear unit and with tech invested. But this time it appeared on the second round, so I had to go for it. Photon Coating is also a good card. Free 30% damage reduction for a unit. You see me grabbing it and going for a spider here. This card used to be very overpowered. It not only increased the splash of the Tarantula and the speed, but also the damage. I think it did 40% damage for the spider. And 40% damage is a lot. It's almost the damage card that gives 50% damage to the spider that no one uses. But it does increase the cost of the Tarantula from 200 to 250, but I think it's worth it for the extra splash, which makes the spider kill chaff much better than before, with 5 to 9. And you can forgo the high explosive and just go for range and mechanical rage. My opponent ended up going for Photon Coating. I also put one Crawler here, as you can see, targeting his tower, but he put some defensive Crawler in the side, so it was not going to work. But look at the spider here, striking the Steel Balls. Kill it before it could be killed. And you can see even during the strike on the Steel Ball, still killing a few crawlers around it, and it's top 1 on damage. Here my turret's killing the crawlers, which won the fight because mine went for his tower, then his crawlers killed mine, went for my tower, but my tower killed his crawlers. And Tarantula wins! Top damage. Here we have unit deployments. Quite a few choices. If I was going to look for what my opponent weak against, it would probably be Phantom Race. As you can see, he has no anti-air on his board. Nothing that can kill air. Hounds don't pair with my units. Stormcallers, his units are too fast for storms, although not the Arcs. But I will just go for Mustangs. They serve as extra chaff and anti-wasps. They can also help with Phantom Rays if he doesn't go for armor, which he probably won't if he grab it, at least not at the start. And I have the marksmen to kill them, even if he went for armor. You'll see me thinking of putting the Tarantula in here and the Mustang to reinforce this side and go for his tower, but I will think back and reinforce my main army here. So you see just Crawler, Tarantula, and I've even moved this Mustang back here, leave only the Crawlers on this side. I also get a level for this tower, just for safety. You can see I'm putting Tarantulas on the sides because I have a shaft clear unit on the middle, which is doing quite a bit. The Amplifier Cannon is working quite well for a 100 cost building. My opponent went for Typhoons, here and here. He also grabbed the Phantom Race and sold. No, didn't sell anything right now. But since the Typhoons were spawning, they got destroyed by the Crawlers and Mustangs. He paid attention. He sold his tower here, so my Crawlers divided. Some went for here, the others went to distract his Crawlers here. So most of his Crawlers got distracted, while part of my Crawlers went for his tower and killed the tower. So a very heavy victory for me, thanks to that. Extended Range Arclight. It's also a very good card, which I never get when I am using Arclights, which I would like to get. You will see me going for additional deployment, which is always good. Even if I could go for the money just to try to finish the game fast. My opponents are already below 2k. But now I have to deal with Typhoons and deep flank Typhoons, so Rhino. Rhino in here will take care of his Typhoons, and for a cheaper cost, 200 or 300, and the Rhino will survive with a lot of HP still. You'll see me finally going for reinforcing the right side, because after the debuff he took last time, I think he will put something here. Although maybe just one spider was not the best choice, since he started investing on Typhoons, and the spider can't quite kill the Typhoons, which have quite a bit of HP. It's 19,000 HP if you count both of them, and the spider doesn't have the most DPS. And everything right at the end, and he's doubly down on the Typhoons. He even put Crawlers here and Typhoons here, so my spider won't do that well. He will target the Typhoons instead of killing the Crawlers. These Typhoons killed my spider this time here. My spiders still have no tech, so no range for them. He didn't sold the Phantom Race, which is kinda strange. Sold one of the balls, I think. The Rhino is coming here. Punched one of the Typhoons. Smack at the other. Kill at the arc light. Hero. Rhino. But right when he was going to punch the Typhoon, he died. So, in honor of the hero Rhino, who sacrificed himself to make me lose less HP, you could subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, it really helps, and helps me get closer to 800. To at the early 700, but I will get there. And if you help me, I'll get there faster. Options. Then repair. I could give it to the Rhino, but since he's arriving so late into the fight, I want to try to win the fight and not depend on him to win for me later. So I will just skip and go for Scorpions. Scorpions are very good against Typhoons. Other option here would be go Sabertooth. Sabertooths can also work. Sabertooths with range and trench could do really well. And double shot, 3 attacks Sabertooths. They would obliterate the Typhoons. But I just went for Scorpions with range. One on each side. Deal with the Typhoons. But this Typhoon got a level. And if you look at the HP, with the improved HP that my opponent got, look at my damage. 10,650. 10,950. So I needed 1 damage enhancement, which I don't have the money for. So it will have to wait for the next round. So I can't one-shot the Typhoons yet. And nothing for this side. I'm just trusting that he won't get to my tower fast enough to be of any use on the main fight. He moved his Phantoms back, I don't know why. My Rhino is still doing his work here, killing the Typhoons. The Spider died, but all the Shaft is already dead, and the Scorpions are doing their job. Even this one that's the Typhoon that's healing gets destroyed. Typhoon with 30% damage reduction, also killed. The Rhino is going for the tower now. I get the tower debuff that I say they probably get, but right after I killed everything, so it doesn't matter a lot. The missiles will kill my Scorpion, but Rhino is doing his job. Tower down. He already got a level. And more damage. So a little below 1k HP for my opponent. And here we have options. And there is, out of those, only Missile Strike looks decent for me. I could go for head deployment too, but what I would head deploy? They are where I want them, so just missile. And he's going Typhoon carries. There was a missile offered. He's going for barrier. Barrier also helps a lot against the Scorpions. I finally gave range for my Tarantulas, which were still untacked. Improved Tarantulas untacked. The crime. But they were doing their job killing the Shaft. It was more important to get attacks for the Scorpion first to kill his Typhoons. And I gave this side 1 Scorpion, which should help against his Typhoon here. And going back to his Typhoons, he's going to grab barriers, so it's useless to try to missile this side. I could missile this Crawler here, but I will missile this one. Because if I missile this Crawler, there is no Shaft on this side, and I can go instantly for his Typhoons and tower. So that was the idea. You see me putting 1 shield here. I'm more worried about my Shaft here than my Mustangs, which could be targeted. Looking back, I should probably have shooted here, because this would be the best target for a missile. You can see my missile here killing all the Shaft, the Scorpion keeping the first shield. But Typhoons on the deep flank. and my fangs won't protect my tower. But I already killed his typhoons here. Scorpion's on the job. It has more DPS than typhoons. One shot. On here, you can see my scorpions are working really well. There's 3 scorpions now. And these typhoons have no chance against them. Even the spiders are surviving now with range. I finally got my tower. But the buff is down. Give it the shield. Give it the second shield. And we get the buff. And kill both of them. And that is enough for a victory. So, more like a scorpion spider. The scorpion was the main name of this game. Even if I got improved spider, but since my opponent didn't have a lot of units that my spider could be useful for, I didn't grab a lot of tags on them. They were just shaft clearing. Supporting the scorpions with shaft clear. It's strange that my opponent didn't sell his phantoms. I would have sold them, like, they don't do anything for him. Okay, they can distract the marksman a little bit, but the marksmen are not the ones killing the typhoons anymore. But that's it for this game. Hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like, and I will see you on the next one.